Welcome to Melbourne and the inaugural event of the F1 2019 Championship season. The session is starting shortly and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. A feeling that anything can happen this year, and if it does, well, this weekend could be the opening chapter to one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever. Joining me in the commentary box is, of course, Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you back again. What can you tell us about this year's roster? There are some new faces this year, aren't there?
Absolutely, Crofty. There's been a number of interesting signings over the last few months. Where would you like to start?
Let's talk about Young.
Right, well, this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Well, they've been signed up likely in no small part due to the way they carried themselves in the Formula 2 Championship. They have a great track record of putting the team first. At one of the races, they even gave up their own position when their car had a technical issue, so that their teammate Lucas Weber, who also debuts here today, could get ahead. That kind of team spirit could take them a long way this season.
Those two aren't the only new faces from Formula 2 this season, are they?
No, this season will introduce fans to George Russell and Lando Norris, two very promising young British drivers. Plus, we'll meet Alexander Albon from Thailand, and finally, Devon Butler. Now, Devon was a bit of a controversial figure in Formula 2 last year. He racked up a lot of penalties over the course of the season, including one where he collided with his closest rival. It was a nasty clip. Now, certainly after the event, they were nothing but professional in terms of how they spoke about the incident with Devon, but it's hard to imagine them being as polite about it behind closed doors. I think this rival will be one to keep an eye on over the next few races, as both drivers take their first steps into the world of Formula 1.
So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a brand new F1 2019 video. We're here in Australia doing some practice before the qualifying and the race. But yeah, just a quick word for this Australian Grand Prix. This is my first contact with the F1 cars on this game. Formula 2 wasn't really my best, as to say that. Couldn't really get into grips with the car and all that. So let's see how we do here on this game, on this Formula 1 thing. As you can see, track optimization test has been completed.
You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit.
And I was just doing laps, doing the tests. You know, the McLaren isn't actually as good as in real life, because currently the McLaren stands as the fourth fastest car, I would say, or the fifth fastest car. Here in this game, it's probably the second slowest car, or the third slowest car, ahead of the Alfa Romeo. But still, you know, we're gonna do our upgrades and bring McLaren back to the top, possibly. On this tire management test, we got the green pass, couldn't get the purple one. And on the fuel management test, the first two laps were quite bad for me. So on the final lap, I tried to cheat a little bit with the gears here and there, tried there to go into the purple zone with a little bit of cheat, but couldn't. So we only just about got the green result again. On the ERS management test whatsoever, I actually couldn't do anything. I just couldn't get into grips with that test. Didn't like it a lot at all, and we actually couldn't even complete it. So I was struggling quite a lot. As you can understand, like, it was my first test with the game and all that, and I couldn't really get into grips. I'm not really sure when we're gonna be able to pass all these tests with ease. Then we went on to the qualifying pace test. Started off quite well, but the next target was 9th position, which was something like 6/10 or 7/10 faster, which we couldn't set. But we ended up 11th, only 2/10 behind my teammates. So not such a bad, like, practice day for me. But still, there was a lot of work to do. I was going to do the sort of race pace test, but you know, I was pretty like confused whether my pace was good or it wasn't good. You know, it was like I couldn't really get into grips with the car still. Like, I didn't know with the acceleration, with the braking, with the turning, everything was a little bit complicating for me. And it's not that I'm it's not that I like actually this track. Like, this track is probably one of my least favorites. This, and probably by the end of the season, like mid-season, by Spain, and then I'm starting to get into grips with the game. So that's I bet that's gonna be the time where I'm gonna get into grips with this game. So I was pretty much done with the practice. You know, it wasn't such a bad Friday for the McLaren team. For me, we completed all the tests apart from the ERS test. So then the only thing I had to do was just go for the qualifying, which was the real test day, like, which was going to show where we actually stand between the AI. Like, it was a very, very crucial day to see what our pace looks like. Firstly, I had a very bad lap at 1:25.5, so that was my second lap in on Q1. Gonna get that slipstream from Lucas Weber, and that's my best actual effort in Q1. Not saying I could have done better. I could have easily done a better lap, but I actually got confused with the time and how much time I had left. That was a 9/10 improvement at 1:24.6. A very good lap, if you ask me, only behind my teammate. But unfortunately, even though I could have done one more lap, which would easily, in my belief, put me like in P16 or even P15 ahead of Raikkonen, I didn't really have enough time to set another lap. And yeah, we're gonna be starting from 90th position. Even though, from my perspective, I think if I've done another lap, it would have been like 4 or 5 tenths faster. And that's just my opinion. I feel like I could have done much better and could have been in Q2. But still, it's my first ever race. You know, we don't really care about the starting position. What's 90th, what's 15th, doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're going to be starting from 90th position ahead of Robert Kubica. Not the best qualifying. But now let's get into the race, and let's just see how well we can do, guys.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21 race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year, with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
So here we are, ready for our first race on F1 2019. I'm actually pretty stressed because I don't know what my pace is going to be like in the race, and I'm going to be actually gambling on the strategy. The recommended strategies was a 2-stop, and I'm not really in for the 2-stop. I want to go for a 1-stop because it's my first race. I'm on a slow car. I'm starting from 19th, and I think that going for a one stop is going to be something that's going to help us quite a lot. So I'm going to be starting on the medium tires. I know a bad idea because it's going to take me quite a while to get them up to temperature. And after that, we're going to be switching to the hard tires. Sorry, I'm going to get a little confused with the tire compounds this season, because this used to be the soft, but now it's the medium, and the red one is the soft, even though it used to be the super soft, and the white one is the medium one, even though it used to be sorry, it is the hard one if it was the medium one. Okay, I'm already confused with the tire compounds. Well, we're starting on the mediums. Gonna be moving on to the hards. Okay, got it. You got it. I hope you got it. It's gonna be a one-stop strategy for me, starting from P19. Let's see how we're gonna do. I'm not really confident about the first race. I'm never confident about the first race on a new game. I've already told you I'm gaining confidence after some races, but enough talking. 5 lights and it's lights out, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. The medium tires not really helping us out on the start. Robert Kubica is going to be overtaking us. We're going to be taking an outside line now, trying to regain a position from Kubica. Giovinazzi blocking us just a little bit there. I'm going to be trying to go up the inside. Same is going to do Robert Kubica probably. We are up the inside of my teammate Lando Norris, up into P16 we are, and we're not going to be making a move on our teammate, are we? My teammate got a fantastic run on Raikkonen now, but he couldn't really go for the move there. DI is very improved on this game, just saying. So 105 difficulty is actually quite hard, just saying. We're currently behind my teammate. Let's see if my teammate can actually help me with his slipstream for those first couple of laps on the medium tires. Not really gonna happen. And we got George Russell going up the inside of me now, side by side with George Russell. Williams is making a move on me. That's not a good sign of things. With Russell going around the outside now. Same as Christian Albon. I'm trying to go up the inside. I wasn't intending to go for a move on Russell. I just sneaked up the inside, not intending to make any contact. But Russell, we made slight contact there. Thank God nothing happened to him, you know, didn't destroy his race. As we're having a little bit of a battle now with Christian Albon, I get a terrible exit on that corner. It's still lap 2, so those tires are pretty cold to say the least. They just can't really get them up to temperature. And we're down into P18 with Robert Kubica having overtaken Antonio Giovinazzi. So Kubica is the next car to make a move on me if he can. So yeah, you can see the McLaren isn't actually a very fast car. It's probably the 3rd slowest car, with Lando being down into P15 at the moment and me being on P18, even though I'm on the medium tires. If I was on the softs, none of this would have happened at the moment, but we're under pressure now from Robert Kubica and Antonio Giovinazzi. 3 wide there, and I apparently have made an illegal overtake even though I've been pushed off the circuit. Fair enough, Codis, I've been pushed off the circuit there because Antonio Giovinazzi is going crazy there. He went up the inside of both me and Kubica previously, and now he made a move on Kubica again. That's pretty weird to see, as it is, I think it was Kevin Magnussen out of the race, so that is automatically 1 position gained. And I'm now very close to Robert Kubica, could probably go for the move. You know, this could be our first move on F1 2019. The Williams not really doing a lot. So now on the slipstreaming of Robert Kubica. Can we make the move? Around the outside, if it is possible. I lock up my front right tire. I can't make the move stick. Oh my god, we need to get used to the game. Like, I can't get used to the handling model quite yet. Yeah, you saw there, I just completely locked up and ran wide. And as you can see there, what happened here? 3 wide we went. 3 wide, and I've been pushed there off by Kubica, who was pushed off by Giovinazzi, and I got an illegal overtake apparently. So pretty good fighting there, pretty nasty move from Antonio Giovinazzi, who gained 2 positions there. So now we are still behind Robert Kubica. The tires are starting to feel quite okay right now. They are feeling quite fine, you know. They're starting to get a little bit warm, and we need to go for our first move here on Kubica because he's slowing us down a little bit. And after that, it's Antonio Giovinazzi, not really sure if we can actually make a move on him. But for the time being, I'm focusing on Robert Kubica. We get a good exit out of the first corner. So now DRS slipstreaming around the outside into turn number 3. Down into second gear. We're going to complete the move on Robert Kubica. And that is a P16 in the moment, with some cars making pit stops. You know, we've gained a lot of positions. So that's what we're trying to do here with the one-stop strategy. Trying to gain as many positions as I can from the drivers that are on the 2-stop. Robert Kubica is coming back at us. He's quite feisty, the Polish, and he's gonna make the move stick. We're gonna try and get a better exit through the S's here, through the S, and now we're gonna try and go up the inside of Robert Kubica, complete this move. Warning collision, even though we didn't really make any contact with Kubica there. I don't know where that came from, but now I think that's game over for Robert. He tried to regain the position, couldn't, and now we're just gonna try and open up a gap from Kubica and possibly trying to catch up to Giovinazzi. Not really sure. We're in a kind of different race with Giovinazzi. We're probably gonna be overtaking him after he goes for his 2-stop. Ricciardo and Raikkonen made pit stops. And if my eyes are not mistaken, that's Devin Butler, who has actually spawned into the first couple of corners. He doesn't have any issue with the car and mechanical issue. He just probably made contact with someone, and we are actually ahead of Devin Butler, which is surprising to see. Ricciardo very aggressive there. I left him a lot of space, and he still made contact with me as I cut this corner. Sorry about that, guys. So down into P13 we are, with Ricciardo now making a move on us. A Renault, one of the best cars to take on this career mode. It's probably the top midfield team, and it's actually pretty easy to get them up to the top. Giovinazzi now making a pit stop, and also I think that's a false India coming out of the pit stops as Hulkenberg makes a move on us. And let's see, are we actually going to take advantage of that Hulkenberg and Perez battle? They didn't really slow each other down, so that is good for them. I go very late on the brakes here, and tires are actually feeling very fine at that point. Like not really losing any time. I'm just losing down to the cars that are much fresher tires than me. Raikkonen making a move on me. He's on fresh soft, so he's going for the 2-stop. And he's going for a stop very early on now onto the race with those soft tires. Fastest lap by Charles Leclerc, and he ran a little bit wide, and that's gonna open up a chance for Russell. And I heard that Raikkonen has a problem with this car, as I'm gonna be jumping onto the pits. I extended actually this first thing with the medium tires, and now we're going for a set of hard tires till the end of the race. So that's the 1-stop pretty much. Let's hope it's gonna work out for us. I feel like it's gonna work out. I feel like we're gonna gain some positions. A very, very fast pit stop from the McLaren pit crew, 2.2 pit stop, and now we're gonna be behind Devin Butler. Couldn't get ahead of Devin, and he's actually done a set of hard, so he's going till the end of the race, so there's no chance we're gonna be ahead of him. But now we're on a fresh set of hard tires. Let's get them up to temperature and try and chase down some of those drivers. Lucas Weber goes up the inside. At the same time, Raikkonen exits the pit stop almost. That was way too dangerous there from Lucas Weber. I actually pushed him way too wide as Raikkonen was exiting the pit stops. Now Raikkonen onto a set of medium tires is going to go till the end of the race. So that's now a fight for... That's going to be a battle for position between me and Raikkonen. If Raikkonen overtakes me, then that's game over for me. I'm probably not going to be ahead of him till the end of the race. He goes up the inside, so I'm going to try and go for the fight. You know, Raikkonen flies past us with our Ferrari engine. We're going to be trying to get a good exit out of these corners, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Raikkonen is going to complete the move. He's up into P13. We're down into P14. With those tires, we're going to be taking this till the end of the race. Grosjean now up the inside, Let's see, can we actually hold on to our position? Can we actually hold on to a top 16, let's just say? Grosjean made the move. He's I think that these cars are on fresher tires. Russell goes for the move around the outside. I'm not gonna let the Williams now overtake me. Now I don't really have any excuses at the moment. The only excuse I have is that I'm on a set of hard tires, whereas the AI is on a set of medium tires. That's the only excuse I have at the moment. Now Lando Norris is right behind me, and with 3 laps to go, this is a fight between the teammates. Lando goes up the inside. He locked up his tires there. He's gonna complete the move. What a great move by Lando Norris that was. We're gonna try and stay close to him. Probably go for a twist up the inside. Not really gonna complete the move. Lando now is actually, we're very close now with Lando. I'm probably gonna go for the move. This is a fight for position for P40 and up the inside of Lando Norris. He brakes later. We made contact, wheel-to-wheel contact. Didn't really want to make that contact with my teammate, but it had to happen. It was a very aggressive move by me. As you can see right here, up the inside end of Lando Norris. He broke very late. I wasn't expecting such a late braking point from Lando Norris. He really wanted to stay onto that position, onto that P14. You know, it's a fight between me and my teammate. You know, the teammate battle is always going to be strong. You know, it's the first race of the season. If I actually finish ahead of him, starting from P9, it's not going to be the best of news for Lando Norris, for the mean guy. But let's see, 2 laps to go. He's still got a chance to overtake me, obviously. Going now onto the penultimate, actually onto the final lap, because we got lapped from Hamilton. So this our final lap now. Lando Norris going up the inside. I'm going to try and go for the switchback move onto turn number 1. Let's see, is that going to be enough for me to make a move on Lando Norris? We make contact. I'm going to try and go now up the inside of Lando Norris. I couldn't really get to brakes there. Lando is actually defending. Magnificent defending there from Lando Norris. He's going to be holding on to the position. P14 for Lando Norris. He's going to be P15 for me on our first race on F1 2019. Not the best, not the worst race. But I mean, we gained 4 positions, which is very positive. A 14th position and a 15th position for the McLarens. We've still got a lot of work to do with the car, obviously. But as the first corner for me in the game, it was a pretty decent race. Not really going to complain about this one.
Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs. And that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So yeah, pretty much Lewis Hamilton has won, and we actually, okay, my English is fantastic today. We lost out on our teammate just on the final lap. We had not the best pace, I would say. Like, my pace needs improvement. That's just something I feel like needs to happen. And the one-stop strategy helped us out, I'm gonna say. I'm not really sure. I feel like even if I would have gone for a 2-stop, I would have still be like in P15. You know, I feel like these 3 positions gained from Kubica, Russell and Albon would have been gained either way. If I would have been starting on the soft compound tires, I would have done a better start. So the one stop, debatable if it actually helped us. So yeah, we almost won our teammate. We almost beat our teammate, but we didn't. You know. So the teammate rivalry going. We're losing our rivalry now from Lando Norris. The good thing is that we actually gained plenty of resource points because we did better than our qualifying position. So that's 2,500 resource points, and I feel like by the next race in Bahrain, what I'm gonna be doing is making some upgrades on the car.
You're not the only driver to be handed by the press. Emails like the one I've just sent you will give you an insight on how your former Formula 2 rivals are handling the press. Be sure to check your emails regularly, as I'll be sure to send you any of the more, let's say, interesting press transcripts that come my way. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
So yeah, I'm not gonna show you any of those events on the Korean one. I'm just gonna show you the races. Just saying, you know, there's some articles about Lucas Weber and Devin Butler. Don't really care about that at the moment. All I really care is to improve my driving on the game, gain some resource points, improve the engine part of the car, because that's where the McLaren currently is hurting. The Renault engine is not really good, and downforce is fine with the McLaren car. All I really need to improve at the moment is the powertrain, aka the engine, and then probably a little bit the aero, a little bit the chassis, and durability is going to be very important to improve. So that was pretty much about this episode of the Australia Grand Prix. Join me to the next episode for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It was me, TM. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Twitch. And until the next one, guys, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big moment we've all been waiting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, place your turntable in front of your guests.
Set the volume control in your stereo system at the preferred listening level.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Beat rock, beat rock, beat